What if I told you that tonight, yes, tonight, everything you've ever wanted could begin unfolding for you? Not tomorrow, not a year from now, but while you sleep. And what if I told you it doesn't require magic, only a moment of silence and the right words whispered into the darkness? Now I know that sounds impossible, sensational even. But let me ask you something. Have you ever woken up with a sudden knowing, a solution to a problem that plagued you for weeks? A strange feeling that something shifted? You weren't imagining it because you were never just sleeping. You were creating. There's something sacred about the minutes before we fall asleep. The world quiets, the mind softens, and something ancient, something powerful awakens. You see, there's a doorway, a brief, silent moment, a space between consciousness and sleep. And in that space, your mind becomes impressionable. It listens, it absorbs, it accepts everything as truth. The subconscious mind, the one that controls 95% of your life, doesn't judge, it doesn't argue, it simply obeys. And most people, they spend that moment reliving worry, regret, failure. They whisper curses into the night without even realizing it. I'm not enough. I'll never get out of this. I wish life were different. And then they wonder why they wake up to more of the same. But what if, just for once, you use that moment deliberately? What if you replaced fear with a whisper of power? What if you fell asleep not as a victim of life, but as its architect? Stay with me, because this one practice, this one shift has quietly transformed thousands of lives, and not over months, but in a single night. Before we go further, I want you to do something simple. Hit that subscribe button and stay close to this channel, because this isn't just a video, it's a journey. And if you're feeling something stir inside you right now, it's not coincidence, it's calling. Now listen closely. Tonight, I'm not going to ask you to meditate for hours. You don't need crystals or chants or candles. You only need a moment of stillness and a sentence, but not just any sentence. This is a seed. And like any seed, it must be planted in the right soil at the right time. That time is just before sleep. That soil is your subconscious, and the seed, the prayer. A prayer not of begging, not of pleading, but of knowing. Thank you for showing me that what I desire is already mine. That's it. That's the doorway, and it swings wide open to anyone bold enough to believe. But you must say it, not with desperation, but with quiet certainty, because when you speak these words with belief, your subconscious listens, and it begins working while you sleep, silently, obediently, persistently. I'll explain why this works in just a moment. But for now, I want you to remember this. Sleep is not just rest, it's creation. And every single night, you're either shaping your future or repeating your past. If you want to finally shift into the life you've dreamed of, don't wait. Say the words, say them tonight, and watch what begins. Let's go deeper. Let me tell you a secret, one hidden in ancient temples, whispered by mystics, and now rediscovered by scientists. Your subconscious mind, yes, that quiet presence beneath your thoughts, never sleeps. Even when your eyes are closed, even when your body rests, it is awake, alert, listening. And in those last few minutes before sleep, the door to it opens wide. That's not poetic. That's neurological fact. Modern neuroscience confirms what the ancients already knew. As your brain waves slow down, shifting from beta to alpha to theta, you enter a twilight zone between waking and dreaming. In this state, your mind becomes a sponge, a fertile garden, and whatever you plant, it grows. That's why the ancients took sleep so seriously. In Egypt, priests would whisper sacred intentions before sleep, believing the gods heard them more clearly in dreams. In the East, yogis called it yoga nidra, the sleep of the gods, a state where thought and reality begin to merge. And in early Christian tradition, there were monks who believed that nighttime prayers were more potent than any daylight ritual because they bypassed the conscious mind entirely and entered the realm of spirit. But you don't need to be a monk or a mystic to access this. You just need one thing: awareness. Let me give you something practical. There's a technique, simple, strange, but astonishing. It's called the pillow method. Here's how it works. Before you go to sleep, take a small piece of paper, write down clearly and specifically what you desire. It could be, I am now receiving unexpected wealth, or I am living in my perfect home, or even my body is healed and strong. Then place that paper under your pillow. Don't just do it mechanically. As you lay down, close your eyes and see it. Feel it. Imagine yourself living it, not as a distant hope, but as if it's already real. Why under the pillow? Because your subconscious responds to symbolic ritual, and this small act tells your deeper self, this matters, focus on this. Some call it superstition, but thousands who've tried it, people with no spiritual background, no mystical training, have woken up to breakthroughs, emails, calls, shifts, answers. And it's not coincidence, it's resonance. You're tuning your inner signal, and when it aligns, the world responds. Another technique? State akin to sleep, taught by Neville Goddard, a man far ahead of his time. Right before sleep, when your mind is drowsy but still aware, imagine a scene that would be true if your desire were already fulfilled. Let's say you want love. Don't imagine the person, imagine the moment, holding their hand, hearing their voice, laughing together. Make it real, make it emotional. Let it play in your mind like a movie, and then drift off. The subconscious doesn't know the difference between real and vividly imagined. And when you do this correctly, it thinks the event already happened and begins aligning your outer world to match your inner one. This is not theory. This is not hype. This is happening. But I want to tell you something that very few will say. This power is not about control. It's about alignment. It's about becoming one with the version of yourself that already has what you're asking for. That's where prayer comes in. Not begging, not hoping, but thanking. Thank you for showing me that my desire is already fulfilled. Let that sink in. You're not asking, you're agreeing with the reality that's already forming. And when you do this, night after night, something begins to shift. You don't wake up hoping, you wake up knowing, and that knowing becomes magnetic. Now, if any part of you is feeling something as you hear this, a stirring, a chill, a spark, don't ignore it. That's your soul saying, yes, this is for you. So before we go on, take a second. If this resonates, subscribe to this channel. This is the space where truths are revealed and miracles begin. If this practice works for you, if something starts shifting, come back, comment, let others know, be the sign someone else is looking for. And now let's take it even deeper, because this isn't just about what you say, it's about how you feel when you say it. You see, people think that the magic is in the words, but it's not. It's in the energy behind the words. It's in the emotion that fuels them. And most of all, it's in your ability to let go. That's the part no one talks about, the missing piece. After you've written the words, after you've imagined the scene, after you've felt the desire like it's already real, you must release it. And I know what you're thinking. How can I just let go of something I want so badly? But that's the paradox. The more you cling, the more you signal to the universe that you don't have it. When you let go, truly let go, you enter a vibration of trust, a sacred surrender. And in that space, miracles begin to flow. I've seen it over and over again. Let me tell you about Maya. She was stuck in a cycle of scarcity, barely getting by. She wrote down, "I am financially free," placed it under her pillow, and visualized herself in a life that once seemed out of reach. But here's the thing. She didn't just repeat the words. She felt them, believed them, and then she let go. She stopped refreshing her bank account every 5 minutes. She stopped wondering how it would happen. She trusted that the energy she released before sleep was already shaping something behind the curtain. And within 3 weeks, a forgotten insurance payout landed in her mailbox. That's not magic. That's alignment, but it doesn't stop with money. James, a war veteran, had lived with chronic pain for years. Nothing worked, but one night, in a moment of deep desperation, he whispered before sleep, "Thank you for showing me that my body is healed." It wasn't a wish. It wasn't even hope. It was a statement of agreement with a future reality. And the next morning, the pain wasn't gone, but something felt different, lighter. For the first time in years, he slept through the night. 1 week later, his pain had dropped by half. Doctors were stunned. But James wasn't. He knew something had shifted, not outside, but within, because that's where all true creation begins. Now listen closely, because this is the moment everything turns. You are not broken. You do not need to be fixed. You do not need to earn the life you desire through struggle or punishment. All you need is to align. Align with the truth that what you desire already exists in potential. Align with the version of you who already lives it. And most of all, align with the silent intelligence within you that has been waiting, watching, listening. It hears your thoughts, it receives your emotions, and every night it creates according to what you believe. So tonight, before you fall asleep, don't beg, don't wish. Instead, breathe. Feel the calm settle over you. Whisper gently, "Thank you for showing me that it's already done." Let it vibrate through your chest. Let it calm your mind. Let it wash over your soul like a soft light. Then sleep, not with doubt, but with certainty, because your subconscious is always listening. And the moment you stop forcing, it starts flowing. You'll wake up lighter, more focused, more open, and little by little, signs will appear. A text you didn't expect, a door that suddenly opens, a thought that turns into action, and that action changes everything. But remember, this is not a one-time trick. This is a way of being, a quiet practice of inner mastery. Every night is another chance to realign, to speak with faith, to feel with purpose, to trust what you cannot yet see. Because the world outside is just a reflection of the world within. And if you shift your inner world just a little, your outer one will shift with it. That is the law. So now I leave you with this. Tonight, don't just go to sleep. Enter a sacred space. Create it, feel it, live it. And when you wake up, watch what has begun. If this story spoke to you, if it touched something real and deep and true inside you, then don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to this channel. Become part of this community of conscious creators, manifestors, dreamers, believers. And if in the days ahead something unfolds, if you feel lighter, if something appears, even if it's small, come back. Comment. Share. Let someone else know this path is real, because that one sentence whispered in the dark might be the most powerful thing you ever say. Thank you for showing me that it's already done. Sleep well and prepare to rise different.